chat stream. If y'all want to go left to right and then the bottom row and say your names, that'd be totally cool. I'm Axel. Thanks for being here.
I am Vexrun.
I'm Michelle from Pajama Let's Play.
I'm Metro from Metropolis Days.
Ahoy, I'm Kai. That's all you get.
Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna, I guess, start it off with what what do you specifically feel like the missing link is alluding to, Bex? And then we'll just go around the same kind of way.
I believe that it could be alluding to three things: someone that's missing, what we are going to have to figure out because there's so many things that are still left unsaid or unspoken of, and the last thing, I actually lost my train of thought, but that's what I think like the premise would be.
So personally, I think it's the missing link between the Union Cross finale and Dark Road, and that it'll explain how we got from the darker gothic version of Scala to the bright sunshiny one that Ericus is in.
Yeah, I'm thinking kind of something like that, where it's like a different version of Scala, kind of like an old version, kind of like how there's like a, like kind of like how New England and then like England, like Old England, technically, it's kind of like that. It's like an old version of it somehow. I don't really know how that would. I don't really have all the plot points pointed out where that would work, but it's definitely something I'm looking into.
Hi. I'm my mic working. I muted for a sec.
No, you're on.
You're good.
You're good.
Okay. I agree wholeheartedly. With the going from what it was to the new, like bright and shiny color that we see. Because something sus.
I honestly agree. I agree with Bex. I think she's alluding to there being a missing character that we don't know about because I really think that we need to find out who this mysterious no-name person is. I think that is kind of going to be the missing link. We're going to find a new character involved with that character, and we already know that Brain and Sigurd have trails to like the newer trailers. I mean, both Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4. So I feel like that missing link is going to allude to something between them to tie kind of both timelines together.
Right. My brother for some reason was telling me that Lusord looks awfully familiar to two other people in Final Fantasy. I think his name is it Jack from
Strangers of Paradise.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Core, I think.
Yo,
Corey,
Landy Lodge, how's it going? Sorry, I just wanted to shout him out.
Landy.
And everyone else in the
Hello.
chat, thank you for coming.
Sorry, Landy, forgive me.
Hi, Landy.
But yeah, that's what my brother was telling me. Like
It stung a little bit when Nomura was like, it has nothing to do with Stranger of Paradise or The World Ends With You. Like on the 20th anniversary, he said that.
I agree with him though. That's the thing.
And I was over here like,
agree.
I'm gonna play The World Ends With You, and that's gonna be my focus. And then
My
13
thing is
happened.
this, okay? Like this is why I kind of like write the collision theory in a certain way because like Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts are not experiencing the things that they experience in their Final Fantasy realm.
Right.
Sora is the one who's experiencing that. So they're not really connected. You know what I mean? They're connected by context.
Yeah. To be fair, the trailer said as brought up. Anyway, everything is connected.
Oh yeah. This world has been connected.
Yeah, that's too.
Hey, Mystic. I hope you enjoy your vacation. Don't worry about it. Honestly, come back when you're off vacation. It's good that you're in the chat, though. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so apart from like, or not apart, I guess they're all connected. So, like, what do you think the whole missing eye of the no-name Keyblade is? Like, what do you think that's kind of connecting to?
Well, we know that's the Master of Masters eye.
I do want to mention there's a version that my brother and I were looking at, and it didn't have an eye in it. And then I also looked into Vanitas's, I forgot what it's called, no, something gear, right?
Void gear? Yeah.
Void gear. It has 2 eyes in it.
Yeah. So what I've associated the eye with is a traitor, so to speak, or like rebellion. That's what I've associated it with, but that's just
Right.
speculation.
I agree
So,
with that, honestly.
so the Master of Masters took his eye out and put it into the Keyblade, so that it could see
Mhm.
the future and record it through the Book of Prophecies. So,
Right, correct.
I'm not sure that there's much more to it than that.
Oh, just like
Well, I
the
think that
multiple
showing
appearances
the
of
missing
eyes.
eye, yeah, like we've only
What do you
ever
mean? Hold
seen the
on.
no-name Keyblade with that eye in the center, even in the like
What do you
the
mean by
Lunar Flame
missing eye, by the
X-Pack.
way?
In the Missing Link trailer, it says these worlds are connected. Then you see a cloaked figure walking up towards like the Scala statue, and then it he puts his hand and like runs it, kind of hovers it over the
Oh,
missing
you're talking
eye.
about being like dimmed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant, that it didn't
Gotcha.
have any
Yeah.
eye.
So my running theory has been after the destruction of Daybreak Town, light has essentially like reduced tremendously. And an eye obviously needs light to be able to see. So, you know, makes sense that the eye can't really make out what's happening, you know? That's just a running theory though.
Um,
So, sorry.
Hey, Trini Padilla. Hope you're well. Also, Geo Reviews just said something really interesting that, like, I kind of feel like is alluding to something. It says, "Why is the eye blacked out in Lucius Keyblade and missing Link? Why can't that time be seen by the master?" And that kind of makes sense. Like, it's a specific time that's not being recorded for some reason.
Question. I don't specifically remember Lushu being in Missing Link. Like I
Right.
know
I think the Lucio was just a cloaked figure. Yeah, I think
so
it's just a cloaked figure.
it might not have been Lushu,
Yeah. It could have been the other version of Brain too that we've seen.
or it could have
Right,
been
and
Young.
we've also known, haven't we also known Data Riku, like replica Riku, to wear a cloak, hood, like a hooded cloak?
Yeah, I think he came into 3 with one.
Right, and then he took it off in San Francisco, right?
I
It
don't
was like a
remember.
reveal.
No, wait. That. So,
I think I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm
The
wrong.
problem is
but
we
I
don't
didn't-
know Lushu's original appearance.
Correct. Yeah.
But
So that could also be revealed.
I also still think it was Young
Oh, I
Zay
hope so.
with Master of Master, not Lushu. So
I don't know. It's weird. It's like such a weird scene because it goes like, he's like, my name is, and then it's a flash of light. Like that's such a weird like visual thing, and Kingdom Hearts 3 is very visual. You like they really make sure you see all the light being used.
I mean, being realistic, the Master of Masters is probably the personification of light as much as the darkness entities are of darkness. And so when he talks about his childhood in the first Keyblade War, it was beings of light that I guess got a physical form for whatever reason. Because he said that they had physical form and darkness had to take it. Right.
so there's there's a whole other existence that happened before with the Master of Masters that we still haven't even seen yet then.
Yeah. And it lines up with Sora's timeline too. So like people with the Sora is the Master of Masters thing, it's just kind of funny. Because the Xehanorts are darkness in physical form, kind of.
Right.
Plus side, we have seen that the Master of Masters does have a chin. Sometimes when it pins
Oh,
down, you can see his chin.
What do you think, Metro?
I think I agree with Allison Rose Alexander. I think that Luciu forgot the eye drops. I think that is canon in every way, shape, and form.
needs dry eye.
Yeah, right.
Mystic Mal asks,
Red eye? I forget what it's
Michelle,
called.
Pink eye, probably.
Pink.
Mystic Mal asks, Michelle, what if the Master of Masters is a true darkness that rebels?
I don't think so. I think they're like equal and opposite because that's the running theme of Kingdom Hearts. So
Yeah, I
also
can
don't
see
think
that.
he's the only one of his kind. Like I'm not convinced his old like that his compatriots actually perished. Not any more than darkness would.
I still think that the Master of Masters ripping the page out of the book is it's a dark thing to do, though.
It is. But
Well, it
like
sounds like a meme.
Right?
That's funny.
Like he literally was like, none of these people should know about this specific point in time where everyone's supposed to
And
die.
Gula's over there
Okay.
losing his mind in the process. He's like, what do
but
I do?
but he
But
did
then, like,
that
if you saw it from the whole point, if he's already seen everything, and he saw
Throwing
that they shouldn't have
organization,
saw it, then why didn't you just not write it in?
throwing Xehanort's data reports into the fire.
but he tore out that page specifically to foster darkness.
Right.
Everything he did in
Yeah.
that cover was to make sure that their hearts could house darkness entities.
Right.
Yeah, I see that.
I like how young Xehanort alludes to Sora being that type of vessel as well in Toy Box.
In
He's like,
general, Xehanort does, because like whenever Xehanort possesses someone, they say those like specific phrases and stuff that Sora himself says. Like
wait,
every
what?
organization member has Sora's voice lines in
Like
one way
take
or another.
that and like
Yeah, like I heard the first one I heard was over here from Luxord, and I was like, excuse me. I paused the game. I
Wait,
literally
that's
was
real?
like,
yeah.
yeah. Luxor literally says over here, and I did it like Sora did it. He did the reprisal, and he said over here, and then Luxor said over here, and I was like, up,
Mm-hmm.
hold up,
Hold up.
and I
This is
like
like when
went
Axel
back and
says, yo, Sora.
I
Sora has
listened to every
all of their
single
hearts.
character's voice line. I went through every single character's voice lines throughout the whole game, and I was like, yep, this is accurate. I have to do a whole connection to it. I kind of did some of them, but not a lot. I did like 4 of them. But
I
they
think
also have Sora's voice lines, which I feel like that's the connection to Stranger of Paradise. It's the darkness entities, like they chose the Dark Seeker's path to train the Warriors of Light as the darkness embodied, so that they could get the perspective needed for the next realm that the people who chose the Dark Seeker path could not complete.
right.
I think I'm following. I haven't played Stranger of Paradise yet, though.
I
I'm
tried.
behind.
I didn't
I'm
make
just behind on everything. My backlog's crazy.
I'm a Square Enix fanboy, so I apologize. I
I thought I was, and then I bought Final Fantasy 13 when I was like 12, and I was like, what is this?
But that's
Now
kind
I'm
of a
playing it
bad
again.
example though, because 13 has nothing to do with all the rest. It's literally tried to be its own thing.
I was destroyed as a 12-year-old. I was like, it hurt.
It hurt.
It's better now. I'm getting back through it.
Yeah, I need to play Lightning Returns again.
Trini Padilla says the world ends with you not being canon. Kind of muddies the waters because if it was the Master of Masters, he could the Master of Masters could easily be a being from a higher plane like Joshua and the angels.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then there's also Sugumi. Have you all played the Oh right, right. Yeah, have you played the Tui games?
Not yet, but none of these words make sense, so we're good.
Yeah, I have not. I've only played Neo the World Ends with You. I think the DS one. That's it.
So then I can't spoil anything.
I
I
don't know
watched
about
the
the
anime.
Reapers game.
I know there's Reapers. That's pretty
Yeah, there's a
crazy.
Reapers game. We
So
talked
I
about
watched
that on
the anime.
Monday.
I know it speeds runs through the plot, but it still gives all the basic stuff out of the way.
So
Well,
what
I'm
Padilla was saying is that his theory is that the Master of Masters is someone on par with Joshua from The World Ends with You. So if they're not connected, it throws that theory out.
mm,
Yeah, I can
Wait, which theory? I'm
understand
so
that.
sorry.
There's
I'm
a
so
theory
sorry.
that
I'm
Spacing out
slow.
over here.
I'm
you're fine,
slow.
dude.
It's
you
not
have
that I'm
the
spacing
itis.
out.
You have
The
the
theory
itis,
that the
Captain.
Master of Masters is from a higher plane, like Joshua
Oh,
from
okay,
the
okay. I was tracking. I just thought I thought it was something else. Okay.
I agree with that, but also like Final Fantasy, I think The World Ends with You was meant to add context because Joshua specifically says it's not the same world. It's not the same Shibuya as the one they came from in Dream Drop Distance, I believe.
Oh, they said that in Dream Drop. I Dream Drop. I need to revisit that game because there's a lot of like just weird, obscure things in there.
Dream Drop
I
is
was like
weird, and
actually
I go ahead.
Dream drop distance isn't real. It doesn't
the
exist.
thing is when I was playing Dream Drop Distance, I was I was holding Dream Drop Distance before 3 came out because my sibling had been like, "Oh, you're gonna be so hyped for 3. Like, don't play this until you're ready to play 3." That was like 5 years before 3 came out. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. So a month before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I start playing Dream Drop Distance, and I'm like so frustrated with the plot that I like almost gave up on the game. It
Dream Drop
hurt.
is weird. Like the timeline of Dream Drop Distance makes zero sense to me.
It was mostly Joshua rambling about something that I was like, what? He's like talking about 2 different worlds, and I'm like,
I would have
this
loved
makes no
if
sense.
he went to Traverse Town at the end of Dream Drop Distance before the world that never was, because then it would have made the world kind of in map order of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yo, actually, that would have been sick.
But I think the whole thing about it is that we're trying like they did a clockwork. They made it so that the beginning is the end and the end of the is the beginning.
Right.
So technically
What?
it is in that order. Yeah, because if you see like they're
In the
babies
imagery
again.
of Dream Drop Distance at the young Xehanort fight, there's a clock on the
Uh-huh.
battleground, and it
Right, with the different colored
recompletes itself.
hourglasses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it recompletes itself, and if you see in Kingdom Hearts 3, Xehanort actually like he has a like guns and stuff that allude to a an hourglass, and although I don't really think that is a true connection to what you're alluding to, I think the imagery does make sense. I don't think that in that moment the time loop was created. I think the moment the time loop was created is when Xehanort went back in time to talk to
Yeah, but
himself.
right. And what I'm trying to get at is that the game itself, Dream Drop Distance
Yeah, that's what I
is
was thinking you were saying.
is a reloop. So the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning. So the same thing that they did with Kingdom Hearts 1 and then at some point with Birth by Sleep, like it like goes around again and then they're doing it again with KHUX, which it goes like back again in the timeline. So like they love like just doing that clockwork. Like like counterclock, clockwork, and then like they just keep on going in circles both ways. Like the spiral keeps on spiraling one way and then it goes the other way again.
Yeah, it does that in Chain of Memories too. I think I understand now where you're kind of going. I see it. I feel like they're all kind of like a microcosm in their own little way. Like there are even Disney worlds that feel very time loopy. Tron, for example,
Hmm.
where you meet like a Tron in Kingdom Hearts 2, and then you get there and change up distance, and a whole city, town, like, infrastructure is formed at that point. It's only like a few years later.
Right.
So I saw a chat that kind of wanted me to, or inspired me to want to talk about what it means to be unchained. Specifically,
Hmm.
Gilo Reviews asked, does being unchained have something to do with being outside the plot? But
Mm.
I'm not sure what exactly it means to be unchained.
Wasn't there? Oh, there was a character that said that they were unchained, wasn't there? Or am I like, or like they asked, "Are you unchained?" Am I remembering correctly? Maybe y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
It was
I
probably
don't even know.
Union. I believe you're
Union Cross,
referring
right?
to. I feel like it was in Union Cross and also in Chain of Memories. Like I recall someone
Hmm.
telling that to Sora.
I swear I remember them using that verbiage, and I'm just like
I
not even sure what it means.
I feel like that was not in Chain of Like I don't know because in Recoded, like honestly, Data Roxas does a lot to Sora that alludes to every game in the franchise because it's like every time this Castle Oblivion is involved, it's a microcosm of some game.
Mm.
I'm gonna mute real quick while I type.
We're good.
Mal suggested that unchained means having a fractured heart technically. Mystic Mel.
Well, would
That's how
would
it's
then
been definitely like in the story. It's definitely alluded to that. Like like I feel like that's the way that you'd be able to see it in
right
Kingdom
and
Hearts,
didn't
but
didn't
not
nominate
necessarily describes its like origin, like what it actually means to be actually unchained. Like what does that mean? I think that first comment that you read was like, what does it mean to like for the character? Like what would they experience? Would they be outside the plot or written in, etc.?
well because didn't nominate Unchain Sora's memories, so he became unchained at some point.
And Naminé was never supposed to exist either.
What if being unchained is being asleep? Because they were technically in those little pods, right? At some point. And like to restore the chains, she needed him to be in the deep sleep in order to chain the memories again at the
Gila
end,
Review
right?
said the Gila Review said
Could,
the missing links fall into darkness but aren't lost. Naminé is the one who described this. So they fall into darkness but aren't lost. This kind of alludes to what we talked about on our little collab, Michelle, with how
Mm,
Lady Mio and Ryan are two halves of the same entity that eats memories, essentially.
right.
could Unchained be like Unchained from Fate?
I think
I
so.
think
Like, I think that's
also,
what it alludes to, but I think that Naminé existed as an unchained person, unchained entity, because that would connect to the threads in Crystal Chronicles, and also
right.
it's the only threads to the Naminé character in a Final Fantasy game of a character that you see in a like at least semi-corporeal form that was never supposed to exist.
So I kind of feel like if someone's being described as unchained, it's more about them not having a true connection. Like that could be the worlds being unchained from one another. It could be Sora becoming unchained when he loses his memories and everyone else
Right,
loses their
because
memories of him.
it
Like,
would be forgetfulness. That's how the unchained state would happen through forgetting your friends, forgetting your heart, forgetting your goal.
I'm
Right.
wondering how much of this comes down to translation.
Hold on. I found something. So it says becoming unchained. We established blah blah blah. the dandelions rebuilt the world by gathering looks and data. Messer tells Lushu that not only would they be going outside during this, that they'll become unchained. This is similar to how Ava calls Ephemera unchained when he is in a different realm, and also states that the dandelions are going to an outside world when executing their mission.
So it sounds like untethered would be
Yeah.
synonymous.
And tethered is actually a word that Xehanort has used before.
So then,
He
would
specifically says tethered
Sorry.
to the darkness, tethered to your memory, and chain of memories. I believe it's one of the organization members that say it. But tethered is a specific word. I remember it like feeling very grim when I heard it. I don't know which game it's from though. It's definitely from a sub game and not a main line.
So all the little stars that were in the final world, they were the Unchained, right? Missing links.
That could be an interesting theory. Also, there's some chains that we don't really know where they end up, aka the dandelions.
Right.
And
Those
there's
were linked in the past, and they're in the future. Like Quadratum has a futuristic aspect, so it has something with past and future with them because they would need time to grow. That's
And
how
they
I see dandelions.
basically formed a chain of rope in 3.
Mm.
So it would just be like people being like, for instance, when you use the arc, you're basically taken from your time and just shoved somewhere else.
right.
You know, like
To
unchained
stall
from
it,
your
like because that makes sense. It does. It definitely does. I'm sorry, my brain just you unlocked more
Oh, you're good.
memories.
I understand. Kingdom Hearts does that. The chain of
Yeah,
memories
like
keep rolling.
it makes sense through like I don't know. There's like it's weird. Kingdom Hearts does that thing where it'll contextualize another Kingdom Hearts game through a microcosm of itself, and it's
Mm.
very annoying. Like, and the fact that Quadratum and Recoded both seem very futuristic, but Recoded seems like okay, so Recoded to me is very much Final Fantasy X, and Quadratum is very much Final Fantasy 15. If you understand what I mean, like in terms of graphics and things like that, they both can like you see there's a growth there, but both data worlds, right, that we know of, there's a character that says impressive, and then the next person says impressive, is it not? And I feel like that's the tie there because Jafar specifically in Recoded looks like Luxord. Anyway, I'm done. That was a very long section.
Oh, Josh.
Sorry, I just noticed I got myself an apprentice.
Hello, Josh. I hope you're well.
Joshish.
So, what do you feel like is that Sigurd character? Like, what do you think Sigurd's arc is going to, like, how do you think it's going to connect? Because we've seen Sigurd waking up in Dark Scala and now Brain.
I want him to be evil.
So the thing about Sigurd, if it follows Norse mythology, Landy actually put out a great video about this over at the Landy Lodge. But basically, Sigurd is known for slaying a dragon, and I don't remember how this fits in, but like, yes, I do. Okay, he for some reason he ends up killing his father. I don't remember the whole story. But his father had been transformed into a dragon and he slayed him. So
Yeah. I believe the dragon was Fafnir, I think.
yes.
The dragon of greed or whatever.
The dragon of greed.
Isn't there something about oh no, I'm thinking of a dragon that eats its own eye. Never mind.
That's where
I don't think that's Sigurd.
Wait.
He's
I have a
very
question.
stingy about
There's
it.
a dragon of greed?
Yeah, that's
Well, there's also Maleficent's dragon form.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so Maleficent connects to Final Fantasy.
Dragon that eats
through
the eye, yeah.
Dragon zombie. Like Dragon zombie in Final Fantasy is Maleficent in Kingdom Hearts. So what I'm
Right.
saying is like she has that tie of greed because zombies lust for blood. Like it's never quenched. It's never filled.
and her fire is.
And she lusts for rule. Like I can't speak. I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
It's Mercury
No, me.
right now. Like, Mercury retrograde is terrible for communicating. So it'll be this way until a little after June 2nd. For all my astrology fans.
But yeah, she has a lust for ruling a world for sure. She's like just trying to find any world at this point. She's desperate.
There's something weird about Maleficent too that always like it doesn't alarm me when it comes up, but I forget in a weird way. Whenever Maleficent uses her fire, it is distinctly green. Like it is from a
Green.
dark place. It feels like she's pulling her fire from darkness itself. Instead of like working the way the actual realm works, she's pulling it from the realm of darkness.
I remember she did speak to one of the entities, the dark entities, at some point, and then she uses one of the arcs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
and then
her
she ends up in Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
yes.
Yeah. With her cloak.
And her green reminds me of both greed and envy, which, are her two core sins.
Right.
Hello, cousin. Hey, man. I hope you're doing well.
Don't mind my socials popping up in the chat. For some reason, it likes to do that every 15 minutes. I have no idea why, and it doesn't want to stop doing that. So I apologize.
You're totally fine.
It's
It's
your
always
night
good to plug your socials.
Yeah, it's your night thought. No worries.
Well, it's weird though. I had it set for every 30 minutes or something, and I turned it off, but it still does it, and I don't know why.
Mine does not work for Restream. I have them set up, but it just doesn't want to post.
This is the first time it actually did correctly.
Well, I'm glad it
Mine is
posted your link because I love for everyone to follow everyone here.
Yeah, I just got to 300 subscribers, so that was fun.
Right, congrats.
Kyrie's
really
name?
good, honestly.
All of my devices are being used for this stream, so I can't look that up right now.
Kyrie's
name?
I don't think it does.
I know the Kai part is because of water. I I know that part very well.
Kyrie
but I don't know about
primarily. Yeah, it says Kyrie is primarily a gender-neutral name of Japanese origin that means Ocean Village, which is Destiny Islands.
Oh.
Wait, it's gender neutral? That's crazy.
Yeah, I actually have a few friends named Kyrie.
Huh, I didn't know that.
I only say that because Utada Hikaru, who her design is based off of, is non-binary, which is crazy.
So cute.
Yeah.
So I love that.
We stand non-binary characters in Square Enix games. Pain is an icon, okay? She's my favorite character in all of Final Fantasy. There's no character that looks or acts like Pain. Pain and Lightning would be best friends.
Oh my gosh, Lightning is my fave Final Fantasy girl ever. I'm sorry, I love when I saw her. Yeah, Kyrie has pink hair or whatever, but Lightning's is pink gold or gold pink. It's so good. Not even Sarah has her hair color.
I always thought of Sarah as being peachy, so she has peach hair.
Yeah.
She's a very I don't know. She reminds me of Selphie from Final Fantasy VIII.
She's also a Kyrie too, I guess. Oh, and doesn't she crystallize into 13-2?
Wait, who? Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Go on.
Sorry, Josh. I have no idea when that happened.
Doesn't Sarah crystallize in Final Fantasy 13-2?
She does crystallize. I don't remember if it's 13 or 13-2.
Oh, 13. Yeah, 13. Wait, is it 13 or 2?
13-1, she at the beginning of the game is crystallized. I don't know beyond that because I'm actually still playing. That's why I took my headphones off. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You're good.
You're fine. You're fine.
I was trying to.
I just got spoiler jump scared.
That's all away from spoilers. You're good. You're good.
That's fair. Like, I'm not good at keeping my mouth shut with spoilers, so good call. Although I don't know the plot of pretty much any Final Fantasy except for Crystal Chronicles.
Well, don't
Yo,
talk to Fiona.
let's
Let's
go.
play when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Just don't talk to her for a week, so she doesn't spoil anything.
Bro, oh my god. When Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, like how it was leaked like way before.
Well, they showed
I
it
was
on the
streaming the
trailer.
game. Yeah, besides that. I'm talking about like Street Date.
Oh, okay.
I was streaming the game outside of a directory just so I could have it like recorded because I didn't want to save it on my hard drive. My friend jumps into my Discord, says, "Hey, ban this person. Their name is literally a spoiler." So I'm just like,
Oh,
why would you tell me
my
this?
gosh, no.
I wasn't streaming in the
don't
Kingdom
have
Hearts
to
3
talk.
directory specifically for that.
when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, though, and especially on my channel, I just kind of assume if you're watching my content, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For Kingdom Hearts, for sure.
And I
Kingdom
apologize.
Hearts fans keep up, I hope.
All of my windows are open. My neighbors have loud cars. Sorry.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
In fact, I feel bad because like every time I hear your mic, I don't know if I'm cutting you off
Oh, I don't think so.
because I'm like, okay. Because like my audio starts like dipping for some reason when I talk.
Oh,
I think it starts off because it's trying to adjust to the volume, and then it like readjusts. Certain mics do that.
Gotcha.
It's a compression thing.
Oh
Hey,
wait, I can
Elvis,
just
how are
say
you?
it because Kingdom Hearts 4 spoils it. The name was Sora is dead. I'm like, okay, thanks. That's what they said.
Wow.
I mean, that could be argued.
I know. But at the time I was like, why would you tell me this?
I mean, they're not going to have a game without Sora except for the ones before he was born.
Right.
I agree with that, at least for like a long time. Unless
I
the
was
Final
happy-
Fantasy comes out and there's like a new like child board or something like that.
Unless
maybe
Master of
something
Masters is
16,
Sora.
I don't think.
Right. Right.
I'm memeing whenever I say that,
No.
by the way. I don't actually believe that. But I think it is funny.
If Sora is the Master of Masters, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed.
I'm going to be so happy.
I
honestly
would
don't know.
see
I don't
thing.
know what I'd feel.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
I'll
would
fall out of
be-
my chair like Gamers Joint did when he saw that Zigbar was Lushu. Still the best reaction to this date. But yeah, I don't know what I'd feel if Sora was Master Masters. I really don't know. I kind of hope he's not. I made a video on it why he shouldn't be, but I don't know.
I
just
agree with that.
The
Because
impact,
I
I
feel
feel like the
like-
impact wouldn't be there.
okay. I feel like the shock value would be like a little bit, but it's kind of like half expected. Like, yeah, they could do it, but yeah, they might not.
There is no way that they can top the shock value of Sora being someone else the way they did with Vanitas, in my opinion.
hmm
When I first saw Vanitas, I was literally like, what? What is going on? And that's when I knew some interdimensional stuff was actually like happening here.
Yeah, and then I think Vanitas is also from Union X too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Figured that.
just got like this crazy thought. Like, what if Sora will have to merge with Vanitas to actually make the Keyblade again over there in the other world? Or in Quadratum in order to beat the Master?
I don't know that it can be forged in Unreality because it's very much connected to Kingdom Hearts.
But what if because Sora can conjure a Keyblade in Unreality that someone else can?
I think there's a difference between being able to conjure your own Keyblade and being able to conjure the Keyblade.
Right. And
Like
I have
in the realm of Kingdom Hearts.
But I'm saying Vanitas.
right. I have like a thing, like a thought process of Keyblades too, and I feel like the keys lead to the next world always. Like the keychains that he gets will lead him to the like opening some dimensional something to the next world, because he gets the Keyblades after he beats that world's darkness. Like he kind of like projects himself into the story and then beats that world's darkness as if he's a main character in those worlds, at least to me. And then he gains a keychain that allows him to go to the next world. So I don't think he'd be able to pull the Keyblade.
He gains a chain to get chained to the world.
Go off. That is go off. That's all I could say.
So
Popping off.
Chain of memories.
what I'm trying to get at is, so the Keyblade that he has, it was bestowed to him by Xehanort, right? But he didn't forge it himself. It was Xehanort's. So
Hmm.
he has his own Keyblade still that he has yet to merge with a darkness in order to forge a Keyblade. So I'm saying, what if Vanitas ends up in the other side, and that is how he's going to have to like beat the other opposing threat in the other side with actually forging the Keyblade. And then it makes sense as to why in KH3, when you defeat Vanitas, um he like, I don't know, that whole scene like kind of seemed different to me, like if Vanitas was hinting at something like that for the future.
So if Vanitas were to fight or were to make the Keyblade without doing the 7 versus 13, then his opponent would have to be equal to him. And I don't know that I would classify Sora as equal to Vanitas.
I see that.
One of them is stronger than the other. I don't know which one.
Because Vanitas is old. Like Vanitas is Kingdom Hearts 2 age at least in Birth by Sleep.
Right, but wouldn't that still give him the ability to be able to do that? Like, since they are, I mean,
Well, I can see something like this. Sora is the king of his realm, right? Yozora is the king of his realm, and they could form a Keyblade that allows both of their realms to reset.
I could see that. As long as they're equal, though.
Because, well, they are in Remind. There's an either or ending. They're both equally matched, but it depends on how the story goes.
But then wouldn't it have been made in Remind?
well, then they did do it then, because that's the
Maybe it was made
representation.
in Remind, and that's why the first time we see Sora in Kingdom Hearts 4, he has a Keyblade still.
Right, that's what I
Because
was
remember
alluding
that
to.
the Keyblade can take on other forms than just how it looks. Xehanort had two Keyblades. He had the No Name, and then the Keyblade itself.
And then he's also got whatever Keyblade is actually his.
Right. From Union Cross or Dark Road. Like
Right.
that.
Before getting No Name.
Right. It's like blue and silver, I think.
I think that's Starlight.
Could be.
If it's the like star.
The one with the star key or the star tooth, yeah.
Yeah, that they had in Union Cross. That's
Yes,
Starlight.
that
Yeah.
one.
I have that one.
Both Keyblade and Ephemer, I think. But not Lorium.
Hmm.
Wait, what about
What
Lorium?
do you think?
He has a different Keyblade than Ephemer and Skuld. I don't remember what
Oh, okay.
this uses.
Divine
but-
Rose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. And then Ventus is using Missing Ache, I believe.
I honestly don't remember. I believe you. But I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember people freaking out about it because they're like, what is this doing in Union Cross?
I have a question. What do you guys think the card is going to be? Like, what do you think that wild card means?
Mm.
Well,
Like, do you
let's
think
go
that
in-
that card is going to allow him to, like, be stuck in that realm or to go to other realms? Or do you think it's going to, like, give him the ability to go back to his realm?
Well, if you look at Luxord's abilities, like what can he do? And how would Sora be able to use that ability?
That kind of makes sense. I think about his moveset in Kingdom Hearts 2, where he like specifically turns Sora into like a card or dice and stuff like that.
This was reminding me of Hunter x Hunter. I don't I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. Great Island.
I know
Anyone?
what you're talking about.
Okay.
Hunter x Hunter is pretty good.
I don't know. That card is elusive to me. I don't even have a small theory about it. I know you were
it's one of
talking
those,
about
like-
the connection to Recoded, which I thought was interesting.
I just know that the recoded like connection is just like we still don't know what the card itself does. You know what I mean? Like even through the
Right.
concept of recoded, it doesn't make sense as to why a card would have so much magic in it.
So
Like-
maybe we can.
Like why does the card have the ability to offer interdimensional travel? Like it makes
Within-
me think of Baymax's anger card, like when there was a dark Baymax.
Well, wasn't the cards within Castle Oblivion, wasn't it just for Castle Oblivion? Like, didn't it just work in there?
Right, but the story parallels
Hold
are
on.
alluding to Luxor's card the
Did-
Luxor's wild card.
Did we just glaze over the fact that you just said something crazy? What the fuck? Hold on, I wasn't thinking about the Baymax parallel, if there could be one. Like, if Sora
Sorry.
returns to his realm, what if he's a dark being now? Like, I didn't think about
That's what I'm
this.
saying. That's what I'm saying. There was a card filled with anger that
My
changed
brain.
Baymax from being good to bad, and we know that Baymax's emotions were how his memories were programmed. His memories
Oh my-
of fighting turned into negative emotions and anger.
Okay, so then.
And then he was
going,
left in a realm to die, like Aqua.
And then, so then going into the whole Xehanort fight, like in KH3 at the end, when you're like, when he takes out Sora's, what is it, like the positivity or something? Like he makes you turn into the anti-form by force, right? So maybe
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
another, maybe that's another like hint at it, like Vanitas, like yeah, like that's happening. Maybe.
They would be parallels. I don't think they would play out the same way, but they would be parallels because we've seen parallels play out with different scenarios, and I think that's why the Sora cutscene meant so much to the community because it felt like we were actually split on what the real ending is going to be.
I still think it's a fusion of the two, just like the novel does, but
I agree.
people
with
are
that,
very
honestly.
indecisive on it.
I feel like it
'Cause,
could be a fusion of
I-
the two in context from one realm translating to the next.
Yeah, because because y'all all know the answer Nomura gave, I think, right? Like about him saying,
Yeah.
oh, we didn't have a reason for diverging. I feel like that was him saying that was still meant to happen, but we split it into two endings. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
If
because
that
he
makes
said
sense.
specifically that he felt that Yozora was such a hard boss that he would have to give an ending for when the player would first meet Yozora. Like
Right.
he realized that the characters would have a hard time and would most likely die the first time that they fought him.
Sorry,
give
but I
up.
don't lose.
Don't lose.
I
right?
don't
First
lose.
time playing
Proceeds to
critical,
lose
all pro
after
codes.
20
Don't
hours
lose.
of grinding.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, hey, Treehouse TTV, how's it going?
Oh,
See
hey
you popped in
Treehouse.
here.
Having a chat in a bit.
I still want to know why Nominee looks the way she does. It bothers me.
In what way?
No one can provide an answer for me.
We can.
I want to shake Nomura.
Tell me
I
the
feel
answer.
like-
Shake him like a piano.
What did you say, Michelle?
I'm listening.
Axel and I have a theory about exactly this.
Yes, we do.
I'm listening.
To
Give
be
me
fair,
the answer.
it's more on the Michelle theories than the Pajama Let's Play theories. Like I'm not
Listening.
100% devoted, but I think it makes sense.
It's basically kind of like this. Okay, so Chain of Memories happens. Nominee, it
Uh-huh.
has Roxas's memories being put into Shion as a holding place, right? But the way that those memories are connected is through memories of Kairi, right? So Namine is having the darkness of Roxas, because Roxas is light, like surmounting as if Shion was the opposite of Roxas, right? But then, as Sora is traversing through time from the future, um, his memories end up going into Shion, and Shion ends up turning into Sora at the end with the surmounting darkness, like a part of it, because it all came at once. It did not come like gradually at the end of the game. It came in like a week, and
Wait,
Sora lost
what?
time.
Like
What came gradually?
Shion's transformation.
So Shion's transformation did not come gradually.
Oh, okay,
Her,
okay. Sorry,
her dive
I was
into
still thinking about
darkness.
Nominee.
No, you're
Right.
good. And that's why Shion, as the darkness of the memories of Sora of Kairi. Sorry, that was a lot.
Mhm. No,
Shion looks
I'm
like
tracking.
Kairi, right? So Shion looks like
Right.
Kairi, and Shion is the darkness completely, right? Then you have the opposite end, which is Naminé. If Shion is the complete darkness, Naminé is the overwhelming light, because Shion can house memories, and memory can just memory,
Mm,
and Naminé can disperse them.
okay, because before I played 15, I was thinking, oh, she has to be related to Unreality, but like, there's no way they were thinking about that back then, right? No.
I think the
You'd be
scene with
surprised.
Axel telling Naminé that she can still save it was alluding to the fact that Shion didn't allow the darkness to break out of her yet before Naminé put them back into Roxas / Sora. Naminé gave Shion the
God.
choice.
Did you want to mention the Lady Mio stuff, or do you want to save
Right.
that for future videos?
We can totally add the Lady Mio stuff, but if you want to start the connection, that's totally cool with me.
So, okay, again, this is a Michelle theory, not a Pajama Let's Play theory. That's just where we're at. But in Crystal Chronicles, they have a lot of Kingdom Hearts similarities and themes, which we just
Right.
released a video about that on Friday.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, yay. So Lady Mio looks a lot like Naminé. And she also has the power to manipulate memories. And she feeds off of those memories. And she gives them more. Okay, I don't remember how this works. That's going to be an Axel part of this. But somehow Ryan, like, feeds it back into Myrrh in order to, like, help the people. I'm going to let Axel take over because he's the expert on Crystal Chronicles.
Lady
Could I
Mio,
just?
she
I'm sorry.
starts. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Myrrh is water, so there's a lot of water that's affiliated as well. So it's very interesting.
It's
And
also
Kyrie water.
it's also the incense used for enhancing psychic gifts.
So Lady Mio, right? She nibbles on memories, and she causes forgetfulness. So that's like small little things. Oh, I forgot where I placed my keys, etc. Ryan eats
Right.
negative memories because they're filled with negative emotions that he can grow from. So Lady Mio doesn't want to use her powers, but she is forced to because Ryan is her other half. So she would have to counterbalance. So what Mio does in Crystal Chronicles is she disconnects a certain character that Ryan himself ate the memories that connected. So she disconnected certain memories and made them think they were brothers.
Oh wow.
So
That's
that they wouldn't
definitely.
hurt, they wouldn't be in pain, so that they could live their life. And then
Ah,
at the
I need
end
to
of
play
the
Crystal
game,
Chronicles.
You do.
it's wild. It's so fun.
At the very
But
least,
at
just
the end,
everything from the final battle because that's where all of the plot is.
yes,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of given to you all in like a good hour.
yeah, and the rest
That's
is
crazy.
But
Sounds like Kingdom Hearts 3.
basically, Neo and Ryam combine to create a beast called Memoroa. So memory, Memoroa. And
Is that the
Memoroa's
like
job is to
thing?
exchange
yes.
darkness into light. But what Memoroa does, because Ryam is so dark, is Memoroa starts using the light as beams of energy to attack the player. So it's literally it's funneling light using darkness to attack a character of light because light
Mm.
it can be hurtful if used too much.
And you said
And that's the same thing that kind of like that's the microcosm of like Chain of Memories is the microcosm of kind of that Memoroa aspect, even though Memoroa specifically could have ties to Strelitzia in the future. The imagery is exactly the same and their purposes are very similar.
Right.
So
So
that
like the Unchained
was
Realm is technically Crystal Chronicles, but it has very little context unless you play Ring of Fates and Echoes of Time, which are technically prequels. Crystal Chronicles is when the player eventually realizes what the world is.
Gotcha. What did Pajama just say? I didn't hear.
that might be why Nominee looks the way she does. She may actually be Lady Neo.
Oh.
so. Then
Mm.
Shion would be
Yeah, Lady Neo was never supposed to exist, but when the Yuke of a different Crystal Chronicles game came to create that dimension, that's when Mio came into existence to counterbalance that. And I feel like Naminé did the same thing. If Shion existed, she would be the light to counterbalance it using kind of an inverse power. Because if Shion's like a black hole, Naminé kind of disperses it back.
right.
Bex had a question.
So Lady
Yeah.
would Lady Neo be? Oh, I mean, Lady Neo would represent in Kingdom Hearts as Nominee, right?
I think so.
That's the theory.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're
and then-
getting at.
And then what's the name of the other entity?
Ryam?
Oh, Ryam. Okay, so Ryam, it would be like Shion then?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
Or the organization holding her hostage.
Well, I would say that it's actually more like Shion because Shion was the most emotional character we've seen in the franchise.
Oh, Ryan was emotional.
Oh my gosh, crybaby.
I mean, I don't blame him.
Boo-hoo!
Like,
Boo-hoo, you can't
ruined
eat the
the joke
dreams
for
of these people in their afterlife. Oh, big whoop.
So it's a huge dream eater.
it's more like the
Basically.
dark side.
It's more like Dark Side, you said?
Something that's weird too is Crystal Chronicles has a final world.
Hmm.
Right.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Except you can see worlds that don't seem to exist in Crystal Chronicles, but they look a lot like Kingdom Hearts worlds.
I have a connection to this. Maleficent says the ancient book of prophecies can conjure
Mhm.
worlds that have yet to be imagined. And that
Yeah.
reminds me of the Crystal Chronicle, the book itself, because it
Right.
could conjure a story based on that player's experience.
Huh.
And that goes to that whole thing that Axel and I were talking about, that there's like multiple book of prophecies out there that we're just not aware of.
I feel like Jiminy's journal is one of those, just like kind of.
Yes, yeah, that was my next thought, like ejected from my
Like-
brain.
I mean, they both project stuff, right?
Like, well,
Oh,
Jiminy's journal was
oh, yeah,
used to create the entire world of Recoded.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
I forgot what I was gonna. I had something and then it just.
I'm sorry. I interrupt.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. It's not your fault.
In the beginning trailer of when Sora opens the door to the apartment for KH4, there's like the panning of the camera on Strelitzia's actual outfit. To me, it's like very interesting because she doesn't have that outfit in UX.
Mhm.
So
Right.
is that the actual her, or is that like a like
I mean, same can be said about Sora, kind of, right?
right?
So,
Although we've seen the connection between Toy Box and Kingdom Hearts 4 Sora, right?
so
You know
that
what I'm talking about.
So that's the data Strelitzia that the Master of Masters took from Union Cross. So I don't think it's the real Strelitzia, but I do think it is that data version, which is as close to real as
I have something on this, actually. I have something.
Oh, someone said the Winnie the Pooh book as well.
Oh, yeah. But I was going to say, so the thing that I've noticed that is similar between Sora and Strelitzia is we have Riku who dreams about looking for Sora, right? But we also have Larium who has that whole dream sequence with Strelitzia. So, like, I don't know if that's like a passage into, you know, like an afterlife.
I have to think about this for at least 3 hours.
Because the theory that I was working off with Sora was that when he's in crystal stasis, he's dreaming and then Riku dives into that dream. So I was thinking maybe something happened with Strelitzia where she turned to crystal and Larium dived into her dream whenever he got knocked out.
Strelitzia didn't turn into crystal because we saw her perish. But I did make a video about this.
Yeah, but in the final world.
Oh, okay. But the theory that one of my subscribers named Dreamer Rose had is that her heart joined in with Lorium's heart. So perhaps in that process, that might have been a way for her to enter his dream and tell him what's happening.
That could also be the way that they chose the Dark Seeker path, because they would have to hold on to the pain and like feelings to be able to remember them if they realm jumped.
So Strelitzia's heart, which would be like the stars in the final world, like she was there for sure, like we're for certain like she was there.
No, we don't know that.
She probably wasn't there. I didn't go through and read all of them, but the ones I didn't get any Strelitzia vibes.
Right.
So I think it's just like the data version was taken by the Master of Masters. Her heart went with Lorium's. And so she's just kind of parallel existing.
So then this data version of Strelitzia that we have is in cahoots with the Master of Masters.
I'm assuming it's the Master of Masters. Elrena's Chirithy said that it saw someone who looked an awful lot like Strelitzia leaving with someone in a black cloak. And then they panned to it and showed it. So it could have been Lucio, could have been young Xehanort. Pretty sure it's Master Masters because he's so much taller than her. And Lucio's probably closer in height.
That makes sense. My brain was connecting visually.
Did we get voice acting for the person that was next to the Master of Masters in? No, right? No. What if that's Ava?
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
What if, like, when they go to a different realm, right? And, like, let's say everyone had a wild card, right, to get them back to the realm. What if, when they go back to the realm, they go back in different times, and the way that they would all connect to the same timeline is through the darkness and Xehanort?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
like through the dark portals, because they like Xehanort kind of puts them everywhere he goes, really.
They're even in the dream drop distance gateways, so.
Drek the Drek said Schrodinger's Strelitzia. Oh, my inner nerd loves that. Sorry.
Don't be. You're good. Actually.
Not Strelitzia, not like that.
It was Ava pulled out of the data world, Cool Imp says.
I'm so brain dead, I thought you said Ava pilled.
I cannot read that from here with my old lady eyes. But Stephen McBriarty, I am with you. I am so much with you that Ava is Subject X and I too will die on this hill.
I'll die on the Scold Hill.
No.
Where I belong. That's where I belong. I'm that trash.
What do you mean? I'm gonna be the annoying one.
Are you talking about Xehanort's?
I think it could be both.
Carrier?
I think it could be both. One in one realm and one in the other, honestly.
Or you could
If the
just
same things happen
Everyone
in Final
is
Fantasy
told,
that they
don't
do in
you
Kingdom
know?
Hearts, if the same things happen as context for Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, I think context of Quadratum would be Kingdom Hearts. If that makes sense.
What did
If
you
Kingdom
just
Hearts
say to
gets
me?
context, Kingdom Hearts gets context from Final Fantasy, Quadratum gets context from
Mhm.
Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
like
Okay.
So
around
it's not all things like translating completely, but I think that they're very connected there, and I think that like one scenario can happen in Kingdom Hearts that wouldn't happen in Quadratum if the
Right.
fate event
Okay. Yeah.
is the person being there instead of the decision made by the person being there. What were you gonna say, Michelle?
Oh, I was just going to try to help explain it, but you did fine.
Watch, the wild card is just gonna connect Yu-Gi-Oh! And Sora's just gonna summon the Dark Magician, and yeah, we're just gonna have that whole crossover. Oh my gosh.
Maybe he's trying to teach Sora how to do all of his card magic.
Oh, maybe.
I don't really think that, but it would be cool.
It would be. Oh my gosh.
Pick a card.
Well, I mean,
Imagine.
being able to put yourself into a card and then like 13 or I guess 12 others to clone you and to go in circles around Xehanort, like that'd
In
be
Kingdom Hearts 2, doesn't he put him in a dice too, and he's just flopping around?
Yeah.
Like that's a good one. We need to learn that.
annoy my opponent to submission.
Submit.
Because I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, the Luke Sword fights are the worst. I get so annoyed with them.
I was too.
I
In
like-
3, I was like losing my mind.
I like to just slash with Ultima. So anything that makes me have to like stop and play a little game in order to do damage just frustrates me.
Yeah, gimmicks.
And the chain of
I'm okay with gimmicks.
annoyed me.
I'm weird. I like the weird, like gamer things, like the weird game styles. And Chain of Memories in the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, like the games that they've done, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is the weirdest one, and I love it. And I played all
Yeah.
versions of it to completion because I'm like,
Same.
damn, I hate this. Like, and it's so weird, but I it's a good break from the rest of the games, in my opinion.
The only Kingdom Hearts game I did not enjoy gameplay wise, I'm gonna be crucified. Days.
You're done. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Was it be-
Days
wa-
is my favorite, like my favorite Kingdom Hearts. I just like being able to play as the organization members. I think that's why.
I mean that's cool. That's cool, yeah.
But did you not have anyone to play with, or?
No, I was a lonely kid in a small town that no one knew what the hell Kingdom Hearts was.
Honestly, same. I only had one friend that knew what Kingdom Hearts was, and we both got Days, and we used to play
Oh my.
the Xi'an Death Battle like over and over again.
I
It's
never
such a good play.
games. I want to
Never
That's
play.
okay.
I really hope we get a 3.5 remix.
I'm sure we will. It's a money grab.
If we got a 3.5 remix with just like older Kingdom Hearts multiplayer games,
It would probably
I
have
would love
Union
that.
Cross.
Right,
it would
that's what I'm
have
saying. Like
Union
just the
Cross for
multiplayer
sure.
one.
You put 1, 2, 3
And Dark Road.
Union Cross, Dark Road, and that way we're all buying 1 and 2 for the 6th time.
Yo.
I mean, that's what we're doing though. We're just buying these same
And
things over and over to get
the DLC will
game.
the DLC will be sold as NFT at a later date.
Stop.
Just shoot me now. Bring Ansem's lightsabers at me.
I think the best way, like, to get Missing Link a lot of traction though, would to be a multiplayer 3 games, Union Cross, Days, and Missing Link all on one thing, because it wouldn't be a lot of data, because Missing Link is going to be a phone game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you'd be able to play 3 multiplayer games on kind of like a Square Enix server. You know what I mean?
If they bring us multiplayer in Kingdom Hearts, we should devote 1 stream a month to all of us playing together.
I agree.
Yes.
I want Birth by Sleep to get its multiplayer back. Didn't someone work
The
on that?
Mirage Arena. I was just talking about this with Bex yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Mirage Arena was one of the
We
most
need that.
underrated multiplayer aspects of Kingdom Hearts, at least the earlier ones.
Birth by Sleep was just my favorite. I don't know.
Yeah, like the customization of like everything, like even the dodge roll had a customization.
I
I
like
liked being my neon green.
getting Leaf
Oh,
Racer really early, and you can do that.
True.
but I mean, it made sense because they were training to be masters anyways. So
And then Mega Flare. That shit's
The
crazy.
magic in Birth by Sleep is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's the
yeah,
best magic
Yes.
like in the franchise in my opinion. Like Grand Magic in Kingdom Hearts 3, it's pretty.
right,
I also
But what
give
does
that
it
game
do?
so much snark. Like I am so snarky, especially with Terra. And
I didn't like Terra. I'm still not a Terra fan.
I love
I'm
I have so many
an
Aqua.
friends that
Aqua
love him.
fan till I
I
die.
love
Aqua's my favorite, like out of the Keyblade,
Yeah.
like earlier Keyblade masters like Terra than Aqua. I
Wayfinder
think Aqua
Trio.
just has the most killer arc.
Yeah, I love Aqua.
I have problems with Aqua, but it's a lot of projecting, so like yeah, there's that. Every snark that I give Aqua, nope, that's going right to me.
You're like, I have depression too, Aqua.
She's so self-sacrificing. Oh my God, she threw herself in the realm of darkness for fucking Terra. I'm sorry, for freaking Terra.
that
Terra
part.
of all people.
So
That part very much like bothered me when I first played BBS. Like, why did you give your armor and just sink into the darkness like that? Like,
because she's got to be the martyr. She's so
right,
righteous that she has to be the martyr.
right,
So again, projection.
very true.
This is why I love Kingdom Hearts. It helps me do my shadow work.
Chris Waffle says, "No, everyone's hating on Terra. Poor Terra. Terra's
No, I love
problematic."
Terra. Mm-mm.
Terra was conditioned to be exactly what he is. So this
Right.
is all
All
on
right,
Ericus. Like his daddy
Pancake.
issues.
I'm not hating Terra. I just don't like him. There's a difference. Okay.
Watched the evil queen call forth the mirror from darkness. And he's like, okay,
Oh,
cool.
that was cool. Can you do it again?
Let me ask you some questions. Terra, come on.
It's the way that in Birth by Sleep, Terra did not care about anything happening in the Disney world around him. He literally arrived and left in every world. I was
He's
like, okay,
yeah, he
well.
was like, this isn't my world.
Fell to Daddy Ericus. Like,
Mhm.
he can't even trust his intuition because he's trying to prove that he's good. Like, just stop trying so hard and just do the thing. Sorry, I have strong
Yeah,
feelings.
trying to prove himself. Yeah.
Which
No shame,
Xehanort
no
do you
shame.
guys like and dislike the most?
Young Xehanort, goated.
You said what character we like and dislike the most?
Which
Xehanort.
Oh, I'm torn between Xehanort and Vanitas. Like, I really love Vanitas. I want him to like be, I want him to have a chance, just like Roxas and the rest.
I am a young Xehanort simp to the day I die. I love how ominous he is to Sora. That shit's just it gets the brain going, when he's like, your time in this world and it just cuts off. He doesn't need to say more. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
But the worst one, I don't know. I don't like Dark Riku. I don't think he needs to exist. Like he felt like
Riku?
no, Dark Riku on
They're different. You're right.
the Xehanort side. Yeah.
My brain hurts.
I felt like he didn't need to exist. He was just there so Repliku could get his redemption. That's it.
Right.
But, it is what it is.
So
I'd say probably. Go ahead.
Well, no, you go first because it might answer my question.
I'd say probably Roxas for favorite. Original, very original, and probably I'd probably say Dark Riku as well, because he kind of just doesn't really do anything in Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically, except just the redemption arc, like Captain Kai said.
I mean, he does the Baymax thing, which was cool, but
That's true.
besides
But
that, you know?
he feels more like a plot device in that than the actual character.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still don't know what the question actually is. My best guess is what organization member? Or what vessel?
Pretty much, because they all have a Xehanort piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like which possessed member of Xehanort?
Member with a piece of Xehanort in them.
Because he split himself twice, so there's an array of characters.
So OG and real Organization 13.
My least favorite out of them all will forever be Ansem. I hate him. I just hate Ansem. He's so annoying.
I like Ansem. I like him.
I think his
specifically Billy Zane,
okay? But wait, you have to listen. I think he's a great character to hate because he is legitimately heartless. Like he has no register for anyone's emotions in the whole franchise, not even the other darknesses around him. Like it's
I just miss Billy Zane. I know we'll never get him again.
Yeah, my favorite like Xehanort split though probably definitely has to be like the Marluxia. Marluxia is just like as a dark character is so creepy. Like he's so ominous.
That's a good answer.
Like I feel like the his ties to flowers and stuff means that he's like throwing seeds of darkness into these characters. So it very much makes me uncomfortable whenever I see him on the screen. I'm like, all right, what's about to happen?
And then he has this.
Funny how he's a dandelion.
Right. Oh, and then all those like, I'm sorry. While the data version of Marluxia, like all those like skulls that come out and everything, like that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be boring. My least favorite of the splits is young Xehanort because I think he made all the wrong decisions, and I think he's very arrogant. Since he's the one who decided that he had to continue that path. Whereas my favorite is just old man Xehanort because I get him, like I do.
He's looking at his failed science experiment from 3rd grade. He's like, oh no.
He just wants balance and things to be neutral and like not one side to dominate the other. And I gotta say I think that's the right call, but the way he executed it was terrible.
It's pretty much Thanos. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
He got older and started rushing things.
Yeah.
He's like, I already went bald. There's no going back.
But he's also humble enough to pass on the Keyblade to Sora, and I like that too.
Yeah, and then die.
Well, at first he was kind of hesitant. He didn't want to give it up.
He could have reincarnated again. He didn't.
That's
true. He goes up with Ericus. Right.
He rejoined his brother.
Drake Bell.
I also have another question.
Didn't Drake Bell go to prison or something?
No, he just paid a bunch of fines.
He's problematic.
Okay. Yeah.
But that was before. That was after Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that was after.
He's the type to come after a channel that talks about him unfavorably, so.
Yeah. But Dylan Sprouse is pretty cool though.
Right.
AyeCaptainKai, in case you're wondering, don't blame any of them. Everyone, shroud yourself in darkness now.
Yeah, right.
Where's my cloak?
I'll come for. Never mind. I'll stop.
I want to buy one of those one day, like the cloak, the organization cloaks.
Oh my god, yeah.
My other question for y'all is, what do you think is in the box, and how do you think that opening the box causes a problem or benefit?
Well, Pandora's box.
So, I think what's in the box is the original Book of Prophecies. I think, you know, and I don't know if this was done on stream or in the pre-chat before we went live, but I think the original book is in the box. The Master of Masters made the copy of the book for himself, and then he made copies of that copy for everyone else.
Okay.
The danger in opening the box is that once you have the original Book of Prophecies, you can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
You can alter it, you can share it, you can, you know, stop it from being recorded altogether. And I think by keeping it within that box, it's protecting the actual timeline.
Yes, okay, I'm following that. So I don't know how to verbally express what I just thought about while you were saying all that, but yes, I like this. But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, the Book of Prophecies that they have a copy of is completely different. You know, like a different timeline is in the box.
Like, I
Yeah.
think parts of it are omitted, you know, but I don't know that it's
Fair.
different.
Yeah, there's no way to tell.
Not yet. That's a phase
Annie
3.
and Namora.
Phase 3. That'll be the best phase.
No, you
What
mean
do you think,
phase
Metro?
5.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how many phases there will be.
Namora's gonna die before we know.
No!
Oh my gosh! Don't.
It's
I don't
literally
even
going
want
to
to
be
think
Game of
about
Thrones.
it.
It's
Or
literally
we're
going to be Game of
George
Thrones.
R. Martin and just not finish it.
Exactly, yeah.
I
Please,
feel like
no.
The only way I see that is Square kicking him off the project, you know? And I don't think that'll happen.
We'd riot.
Well, it's like that, and like the same thing happened with Berserk. He's going to die before it finishes. It's never going to be finished.
or unless he actually finds a successor that understands what exactly, like, the whole.
I don't think
I mean,
he
he's
even
probably got a
understands
rough
what's
draft,
happening.
right? He probably has a rough draft. Like, this is where I want to end.
Like,
He
he's
has
got like spark notes in his head, pretty much.
He has to, and it
In
has
his
to be
head,
in a
yeah.
safe.
No one else knows.
It has
Yeah,
to be in a
because
black box.
he doesn't have any
Mm.
children, does he?
He hasn't unlocked it. Who knows? He has a
Well, like
cat.
What
all
do
the
We
you
know
stories.
that.
What do you think about the box, Metro?
I don't know. I mean, I heard there could be like, what was it, the 13 Darknesses or something in there. I forgot what someone. I think maybe it was Gummy Phone. I forgot someone here had a theory about it a while ago, but I honestly really don't know. It could literally be anything.
Yeah.
That's the
What do
problem.
you
It
think,
could
Beck?
literally be anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have a specific thing, but I want to hear everyone's thoughts first. What do you think, Beck?
A
It's
whole
Sora's
other
old shoes.
world. It's Sora's old shoes. I just think it could be like a whole other world, or like the gateway between Quadratum and, you know, um, the Disney World, or, you know, Sora's world, or whatever.
Like the
Yeah.
hyperspace travel lane thingies, whatever they're called.
Yeah, something like that.
Mystic Mouse says some Nikes are on the box.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Sponsored by Adidas. Not sponsored. The
So
stream is not sponsored. Just so you know.
I personally think that Jiminy's journal, having changed phrases from nominee, is alluding to the fact that nominee's content, like nominee, was erased from the Kingdom Hearts realm, and so was Nameless Star. So I feel like the books in both worlds were switched because the realms would be opposite of each other, so certain things would still happen. Go ahead.
I think the Nomura interview said that the Nameless Star is from Virum Rex.
Oh, she can still be. What I'm
Okay.
saying is, I think that the book in the box was the book that was rewritten from, like, that's the Quadratum book that was rewritten to erase Nameless Star. And I think that there's a book going to the Quadratum realm, aka Jiminy's journal, that if certain things are erased, no one will be able to remember them because when you're in a different realm, you have to hold on to your hurt to remember. Otherwise, you will forget it and be happy without them.
That makes sense to me. Kinda.
I'm
I just think
digesting.
with so many like archives and books and stuff in Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, I
True.
feel like exchanging a book for a
Literally,
book,
yeah. Those Kingdom Hearts archive videos that we got, the 5 of them before Kingdom Hearts 3.
right? Who wrote them? Chirithy?
It's just a journal, you say. Have you played Dream or Recoded?
Yeah, it's not just a journal, it's a whole realm that can be created from that journal. It can conjure because it's a book of prophecies.
Just like the Book of Prophecies, yeah, in Union
Of course it
Cross.
can.
It is the same
Why
thing.
not?
Of course it can.
All right, we're about
Amen.
4 minutes away from the end here. Does anyone have any last thoughts? If anyone wants to leave any last comments, that'd be cool. My last thought is my brain hurts and I need Missing Link and Dark Road.
Dark Road.
Like,
Yeah.
Minor, I just need more. You talking about Marluxia got me thinking about flowers again, and now all I can think about is flowers. Thank you.
I'm
Can't wait
Sorry,
till
that's
Dark Road
kind of an
comes out.
inside joke. Sorry.
when it comes to Dark Road, I'm just gonna quote Mirabel from Encanto. I've been patient and steadfast and steady. So just give it to me now.
For Dark Road,
Missing
You
Link,
said for Dark-
probably.
you said for Dark Road, Michelle, or for
Oh yeah, for Dark Road, because I have been waiting for so long for this because so many theories and videos are waiting for the plot of Dark Road.
right?
I know I am.
Like Norse mythology buff here, I am excited.
Definitely, definitely. Wait,
Mhm.
so, the the master that they have in that time period, what's his name again?
Odin?
It is Odin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all named after
How
Norse
does that?
gods. Except for Eric.
Coincidence? Coincidence? I think not.
Absolutely not.
no, I don't think it's a coincidence
I mean,
either.
hold on. Don't. Okay. Mild spoiler, but it's in chapter 1, right? When Xehanort's like looking over the graves,
Mhm.
is that everyone died, right?
We saw Master Odin looking down on, assumingly, Xehanort and Erica, saying that they were the only two who survived.
Oh, okay. So everyone else is in Valhalla.
Oh, I don't know. They probably reincarnated. Who knows? Or they're
Oh,
dreamers.
okay. I'm thinking Norse. Sorry. Or, wait, is it Valhalla or am I thinking of the other thing?
Valhalla is
Like everyone goes.
it is Norse mythology. It's where the honorable warriors go who died an honorable death.
Yes.
But not
But there's
all.
also another one that's like a similar thing. Like there's 2 different routes you can go when you die.
For some
You know
reason,
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
gonna say Shangri-La.
There's Valhalla, and then there's another god that will take in people who didn't get to Valhalla, died in like battle.
There are several halls. Like Balder has a hall.
Okay.
Freya has a hall. Like everyone's got their own hall, so you can really
Got it.
end anywhere.
Got it. Okay.
Like
But
Unreality.
it's very much like the Dwarf Woodlands. So
Very interesting.
make of that what you will.
To respond to
Too much.
Coolim said Recoded was just a digitized version of his journal. The journal itself is not magical. That is not necessarily true because the reason why Recoded starts is because a message appears in the journal saying the journey will be mended when you return to end it, and they have to go into the data world to find out what the message means.
And also, Namine's sketchbook was, another form of how she would use her magic.
Yeah.
So, books are very powerful.
That's
And the
true.
Enzo's book.
Yeah, I mean
And-
Fantasia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's like Mickey's whole story. Mickey and Yensid.
right.
All right,
telling
it
you.
is 5 o'clock. thank you so much for being here. Bex Rune, Pajama Let's Play, Metropolis Days, Captain Kai. It's been a really good chat. Thanks so much for being here.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
For
for
coming to
having
chat
us.
with us.
Thank you.
Likewise.
All right, chat later.